Hey everybody, so I hope you can see that. It says made. I know I've got nails and I'm a man and sometimes they get dirty. It's just the way God made me. Made in Pakistan. So that's what I saw today when I was doing push-ups. That got me thinking. It's just a simple bed cover. And I was like, why am I here in Portland, Oregon, buying something that was made all the way in Pakistan? And it's not like it's something special, just like, that speaks of the Pakistani culture. It's just a simple bed cover that you could buy at any store or make yourself. And the answer, unfortunately, is not one that I really want to hear. It's a sad answer, and a lot of it goes back to the fact that they can pay workers in countries like Pakistan far less. And in fact, I've got some statistics here I'm going to share with you guys, and they also don't have near the same type of rights or safe working conditions. And yeah, like I said, they're paid far less. Right here, it shows how they, first of all, they pay the men more than they do the females. That's just their thing. And the men, at their highest point, they make 11,000 PKR a month. And the woman makes 7,500 PKR a month. Now, the actual estimated living wage is 47,000 PKR a month, which is equivalent to $286 US dollars. So, I mean, it's just, these people are probably working more hours than us at doing, some people work pretty hard jobs, but this is factory work and really unsafe and probably unclean and just horrible conditions. So most of the work that they're doing is probably much harder than any of the work that we've ever done here in America. And they're getting paid far, 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 far less. And unfortunately, it's all just to help, make companies that produce this type of stuff more money. And we here in America and other countries like America buy these products all the time, without thinking about where they actually come from. And this is the problem with capitalism and free market capitalism, I should say, because I mean, if you regulated capitalism, it could be different. However, I still think because if you allow capitalism, which is the desire to make more money and pay people less, if you allow that to flourish, I think it's inherently going to continue to breed greed. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. That's how I feel. So I don't want to be a part of that. But especially free market capitalism, that means they can sell any type of product from wherever for the most part. And the way they get around things is they create corporations, and they have these corporations hire other corporations in other countries, and they get those countries to produce things like this, and then they ship these things at very cheap costs over to countries with a lot of money like America, and then they charge exuberant prices for these things, which we pay for, which makes the big companies richer, and it keeps the people in Pakistan poor, because now these companies have a hold on the population over there. All they do is they push out all the mom and pop stores, and they bring in these big businesses, and that's all that these people can do is really work at these factories where they're treated like shit, they're paid shit, and they're making shit. And the only reason why these factories continue to perpetuate and continue to exist and continue to do what they do is because we continue to buy into them. I mean, that's a big part of the reason. Of course, these people, they could decide to try to do something on their own and leave the system and build their own thing if they wanted to, but a lot of these people don't even know how. So that's another reason why, and it's part of the reason why I want to help spread this movement all over the world. Just be an example if people want to learn from us and try to use some of the information that we're sharing on how you can grow hemp, you can build your own communities, you can 3D print objects at your own will. If you have that type of technology, you can use it as a medicine, you can use it to build homes, you can use it to build armor, weapons, anything you want, as long as you have the right tools to do so. But the thing is, the hemp is capable of developing one's own infrastructure if the people really want to do that. But they gotta want to do it. So anyway, I've got the whole project I've been working on is based on this, because it's this type of stuff that the people need to know here in America, because this is just one example of thousands, if not millions of products. I mean, this apple right here, this is all the same type of thing. There's apple factories where people are getting paid very little money, working unsafe conditions. It could be hazardous to their health. And it's all just to make these big companies much more money. And the sad part about it is that they're only so successful is because we keep feeding them. We keep feeding this beast, and we think we're doing good because we work hard and we want to reward ourselves, but we don't think about where these products come from. All of these products have an effect. There is a way to develop clean technology, but it needs to be dealt with in a clean way, which means you can't have exploitative means and you can't use materials that are going to pollute the rest of the earth. There are materials that are good for the earth. Hemp is good for the earth, and there are ways of building and making things that aren't exploiting human beings. And there's ways of making exchanges to where you're not actually having to sell something for more than it's worth, which in itself is a sin, in my opinion. The earth is tired of that shit. You're taking something and you're putting your own value on it, like you own it, when you did nothing to create it. So this is the type of information that the majority of the American public needs to hear, because they don't realize how dire their effects are on the rest of the world. And we, being one of the biggest, I think we are the biggest consumers in the world, means we have a lot of power. And where we choose to put our consuming power means a lot. So if we stop buying into these big corporations, they will lose their power. Now, the issue with that is, unfortunately for countries like Pakistan, if we were to boycott them, like if there was a massive boycott to a lot of these products, a lot of them would lose their jobs and they would be worse off than they are right now. So we do have to consider that. I think there does need to be some type of a way to help make sure they have a security net, so that if we were to boycott those companies, that they would still have a way to get their food. That's why I would love to see charity organizations and movements going over to these countries and literally start helping them build these farms and these communities right now, so that we can start boycotting these corporations as soon as possible, and we can do so and still give the people a solution and an alternative to continue to live their life and live a happier and better life for everybody and everything, not just for themselves, but for the whole world. And we can, starve this beast out, man. I mean, he's had his fill. It's time for him to take a break. So, all right. I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.